2025, and welcome to the latest edition of Press Review on Sun FM Radio and TV. I'm your host. My name is Lamek Zulu, professionally known as Four Legs. Press Review is a program that is designed for you to share some of the stories that you might have come across in the media, and you would want to actually comment on that particular story. Please make sure that every time you give us a comment or contribution on what we are discussing, you have to be sober-minded. Do not use this platform to campaign, and also never use this platform to bash other callers. Let's use the language that is media friendly, even bearing in mind that during this time even our children are listening to the radio, or they're actually watching Sun FM TV. So let's quickly get to my first story, and this one says President Hakainde Hichilema's political advisor Levi Ngoma says even developed countries like America and Russia have cyber laws which limit freedom of expression. Meanwhile, Ngoma says revising the cyber law will mean promoting hate speech and falsehood. On Wednesday, Zambia We Want spokesperson Muhabi Lungu said President Hakainde Hichilema was too stubborn to withdraw the cybersecurity and cyber crimes laws. So he argues that Zambians should be able to actually call a spade a spade. He actually says we should not be afraid to call madness. We should not be afraid in this country to call what is stupid to be stupid. And then he says we should not be afraid in the country to call hypocrisy as hypocrisy. So this is the story that is leading Press Review today. Then I go to another story where PF Faction Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda says President Hakainde Hichilema was working very hard on wrong things. Now, Special Assistant to the President for Policy Compliance Joseph Lungu was quoted to have said that President Hichilema is a workaholic who often leaves the office around 23 hours. And then he says, now with my boss, I can't leave the office until he leaves. And then he says, sometimes he's here up to 23 hours. So I just have to be here until he is done. He is a workaholic, and then sometimes you issue instructions at midnight, at 02 or at 7 hours in the morning. So we are always on our toes to make sure that we are on the lookout with regards to what the boss wants. +260-212-617-140. That's the number you can actually use if you have a story to share with us on today's edition of the Press Review. +260-212-617-140. I'll start picking your calls. Alternatively, you can send us a message on 0769-122-851. Do I have a caller? Good afternoon. +260-212-617-140. Okay, let's quickly go to another exciting story where Lundazi PF Council Chairperson Gordon Tembo and various PF councillors in Eastern Province have endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema for 2026. At a media briefing on Saturday, Tembo said President Hichilema's leadership had impressed them, so they decided to endorse him for 2026. And let's move on to another exciting story where Lunte, a PF Member of Parliament, Muto Tue Kafuaya, has rubbished claims that the UPND has merely refined cyber laws to protect citizens. He argues that they have replaced a good law initiated by the PF, replacing it with a bad one. Now, State House Chief Communications Specialist Clayson Hamasaka was quoted to have said that cyber laws were initially enacted by the PF in 2021 and the UPND administration had just refined them to ensure more protection of citizens. And then he says, commenting on this matter, Kafwaya said UPND had repealed a good law and replaced it with a bad one. I don't know what you think about that particular story, so you can come through and share with us. +260 212 617140. That's the power line that will give you access to press review today on Sun FM radio and TV. So you can actually come through and just give us your press review so that we get your comments and contribution. +260 212 617140. Alternatively, you can send me a message on 0769 122 851. It can either be a WhatsApp message or a conventional message, and we can have a very good chat. +260 212 617140. Okay, let's pick your calls, or even on 0769 122 851. 0769 122 851 will also give you access to voice calls, so you can actually use that line as well. And I have Vanabanda on the line. Vanabanda mwashibuka shan
Mkwai mwabuka chani
na abuka fe bwino katwishi ben
mkwai mwala meki
mkwai nevo katwishi
kusane fe mkuyo ya zilo naiba bare niyo namba imbiyo so kale twachambo kwesha so nalala ndakupali cyber hii iyo yasanishiwe ubuteko nishiyo uko buchiri ubwafumnepo so iriri ashija cyber yaisa tulika muri ubuteko so iri efunde lyo kale lyafuma so ifunde nga lyafumeko chaba kukonkana nalyo mana kwate emilandu ngefufine ifunde lyafuma shira konka imilandu ishidishonse fe ne fyalo fe filishonse nakale fya mafunde oko yaji so amafunde ko ya konka pe ichalo chabula amafunde nishitapala fo tunga chitamkwai ture ukonkana fe na amafunde nishi walaikala umutunturu kula sola ngwifufina wanda wabepesha omuntu wambesa kulandalanda awe funde lifire lya bomba kairi tufire twaikala Zambia is a Christian country so tufire tule omfana lokutemwana tuli bonse tule kutika.
Thank you very much, Vanabanda, for coming through. +260 212 617140. Good afternoon. Let me pick this score as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Folex.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charles Mape. How are you doing today?
I'm good, my friend. Therefore, the president here, I'm there to talk about fire concerning cyber. What is your nation now? For to have an issue of property, Jintunga Bujakutim, Kirimusuma, Barondo, Raveka Tiaro, Capital from Kuzenity, Rabenge, Muchimba, Muchinyanja, Muchitonga, Muchika, and the Michigan Valley. I mean, as I was driving to the Russian what if you money, Masumina, Masumina. Matani, what is the communication? Masuna, who are working at Bofia Banda, with an Apple strategy, I have the 12 years about Chupo. Tabata was out, but now not to about Bofia. No, my dad was Palamama, Zambia. It's a way. No, it's up to the one tongue, which are going to what a freedom of speech. No, but the agent of Kazakwati, they not what a freedom of speech, that they ring at Uskaramba. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Mwape, for coming through. +260 212 617140 and 0769 122 851 will give you access for you to share your press review with us. I have another caller on the line. Let me pick this one. Good afternoon. Emkwa indifebu inonderanda na banani? Atiwanishina? Mukwai?
Don't busy.
Okay. Kindly speak up, give us your press review.
Kwa press review yandina chumfa kusane FM ruchero kuine ku front page. Atiba nakachinda barera ndatio tonse alliance ili intact. Ekuchi aba intact era ndasio kwa buro kwata president lero. Ikirefa ikachakwe bati by convention nga by convention kwa tonse basare president ukemini na 2026. Ero bengaranda chiri intact pantumishina tuishwa chao ishi wachipani emwari nomba notice mwafe bachairman president finished iri intact kaida ma confusion yali ambo kuisa mumando wako bachawe ne bari pokerera moro afuma kushoshori kipacha aisa mona mano yakwe uyafuma kuti chichirongana aisa mona mano yako so that ichirefa ikasi kuya convention.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We get the gist. We get the gist of your press review. Your 1 minute is up. Let me quickly get to this story, which says PF faction Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda says, as the anchor political party of the Tonse Alliance, the Patriotic Front has resolved to look at strengthening the documents which will guide governance within the alliance. Nakachinda says the truth regarding the leaked audio in which some socialist party officials were allegedly plotting something sinister will soon be unearthed. Meanwhile, Nakachinda says Tonse Alliance is intact and it shall remain so. He was speaking shortly after concluding their extraordinary PF Central Committee meeting on Saturday. I think that's the story our last caller was referring to. Let me speak to Mr. Miji now. Mr. Miji, good afternoon. You are through to press review.
Good afternoon, Lamek. This is Miji. I'm calling from Deke Township here in Dola, and my press review comes from the story that you have just read about the cyber security law.
Exactly.
Cyber security law. Are we together?
Yes, we are together, Mr. Miji.
Personally, as a citizen of this country, Lameki, I'm in support of this law. If you check on social media, people have actually stopped posting insults. In short, the law has brought sanity. There is no way people can be spending and staying the whole day just insulting each other. That should not be allowed. As for Raphael Nakachinda, the PF faction secretary, I just want to throw this challenge to him. Let him go and stand in the Kasiwe and prove his popularity, because he claims to be speaking on behalf of the people, and yet he has never ever tasted any election in his political career. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming through, Mr. Miji. There's a story here which says, this is not a church, it is politics. Nice Tifuna Kudiamo, UPND National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Liswaniso was quoted to have told President Hakainde Hichilema. And Liswaniso says the true elections will only be held in 2041. Addressing youths at the rally at Maramba Stadium in Livingstone on Friday, Liswaniso, who is fondly known as General Mosquito, said President Hakainde Hichilema's appointees we are not looking into the plight of the youths. So he has been quoted to have instructed the Justice Minister, Princess Kasune, to go and tell President Hichilema that youths will campaign for him, but they also want to tell him to remove those who are not helping the party. For HH, he is popular, that's what he says. We love him, but what was supposed to be done was that we should remove those that are not helping the party. I don't know what you think about that story. Let me pick this call. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we lost you. Plus 260-212-617-140 or 0769-122-851 will give you access. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. Who are we talking to?
Mlenga Boniface from Chingola.
Okay, Mlenga Boniface, kindly go ahead with your press review.
Yeah, vanakachinda tista ile posa va president kulia. Vacha respond one of kairi kwati wa landi wa ku state osoko. Na vacha respond that ile ista chachina vale posa va president kulia. Wona ulafi. Because ichi chitika chakwe vacho turera ndanifi. Abantu nga valerira ati ifini tutafiri kuira muchi.
Hello? Hello, are you with us? Hello, good afternoon. Are you still there? Okay, we have to drop this call. Plus 260-212-617140 or 0769-122-851. That is the number that will give you access in case you have one or two stories to share with us on today's edition of the press review. Plus 260-212-617140 or 0769-122-851. That is the line that you can use for you to share your press review with us. Plus 260-212-617-140. Okay, I have this call. Let's pick this one. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that one. Plus 260-212-617140. Plus 260-212-617-140. Let's pick this one. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. Who are we talking to?
Mlenga Boniface wa Folegi achi Salwan.
Okay, Mlenga Boniface, you can go ahead.
Mkwai. Yeah, vanakachinda valacha respondi kuri va president iyo ku state house valandira kwati vapiri avo kwevatawo ile itabona ula kuti anopuisha nchitokuisa ino ka 23 hours tapalefe valesovera vena Zambia. That's true. Ngamwalolesha sana mwambutondonganya pakwe vati abantu valosha pali fintefe valendamo valesa mukulete fintefili direct kuvatwala ifili opposite like ine saibalo tulelanda isaibalo aveni veka vekeni vafuta vaumfu echalo chonse chalira elo vaivo kwa twatangire va PF valipanga nishi imwenga na mukwate nchite itariko tete mwe tirifunde valifo kupangira vena Zambia tari wena ifo tatuwaliko nke nomba imo mwaisha vula gali ni mwalikonka nishi which means kuli problem. That's why yo instani shwale yona ola beni kuli valiswaniso ndolo esa ini yako shwoko vati mtunguru shina yeli mchipani yambo kumfo kwa vati finta vilibu ya no kubewe chingo kwa vati finta vilibu na pachalo elo yapishisha muma kwa vati va youth because ingabalisha ba youth ero icharo tachumfira bini ishaba labaka ya soja aka ya isha abantu mu community aka mube vati muja mweka so tireka biro ni share the only Zambia once wale umfako buni economy ibuni telonga kwa vyati oba youth na shana lero baliswaniso na tuishweke balanda ba politician so ye mwale pishisha amofi cho mwale baba president na bakasuno kuya baba president chishi ngati finta fili bwino pachalo abantu balechula so vamitotera pani muhambo kusumina ngefe mwale sumino twale nye bati mukesa sifwa kusanga nga mwaisa mona ino so mwasumina kwa bati finta fili bwino pati ground ya twatotera twala mona mfo 2041 mo mulefo.
Thank you very much. Plus 260-212-617-140. That's the number that you can use. Plus 260-212-617-140. That's the number that you can use on today's edition of the press review. Good afternoon. Mkwaiba Mwanaumo, can you share your press review with us within a minute?
Ya mavocha tori wile kirika 2041 twali mfapo wambia wale tuntumba tipanshire kumurulesa panshire na wambia wate opakumfumia po mukese na mazembe abona we 2041 yo ni opinion yako aliswaniso chiri sabena kusta implement fira wale tulaya ko badoti babombera bwino ichalo andira jira saibaro abantu besire mukusende vintu vilevyo balekana so maipokere cha abantu aba
Thank you very much for coming through. Plus +212617140. Today Zambia celebrates Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Kenneth Kaunda Day, a day set aside to honor the birth and enduring legacy of Zambia's founding father, a great pan-Africanist, a freedom fighter, and a visionary leader whose humility and dedication gave birth to not just a free Zambia, but also contributed to the liberation of Southern Africa as a whole. So obviously today we all know that it's a public holiday, and we actually celebrating Zambia's founding father. +26021261740. That's the number that you can use on today's edition of press review. You can also use I'm sure this is one Maparo.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Wasenda kwenye ya cyber law ili. Ida kango omuliro. Sapala fotunga kitanga nababike funde nsinababika. Olo nishifunde lifunde. Fulo leshafe kwe bantu zero shafe kana kapampa mike funde twala kitachanto alaliro mutu alaliro munababika nifi ya fine. Yeta shakona bafyashi beswa Kenneth Kaunda au bali bombera abafyashi bali visho kuntungwa wali baba ntungwa zendo mutende konsoko tureya. Seba totera abafyashi bali mchibote champumuleso wa makayonsi kulibonzo baramei.
Thank you very much for coming through. An interesting story from the courts. A 64-year-old man of Lusaka's Kabanana area has dragged his son-in-law to court for impregnating his 29-year-old daughter when she was 16 without paying any damages. So Raymond Chama told the court that Gift Mwaba 30 and his daughter currently have 4 children. 4 children, yes. And now when the matter came up before Magistrate Lewis Semomba at the Matero Local Court, Mwaba told the court that he was willing to sit down with Chama to discuss the way forward. But Chama insisted that he wants 50,000 kwacha compensation. So that's an interesting story. +26021261740. Let me pick 2 calls and I quickly get to your WhatsApp and conventional messages. Okay, we lost that one, but you can still come back. Okay, let me quickly get to these messages. On ZNBC, National Youth Chairman said Tidiemo, so they want to eat without working. Unfortunately, there's no name here. And then this one says, good afternoon, 4 legs. This is Moses from Chirirabombwe. My press review is on what I heard on Sun FM, a front page today. Sunday Chanda, Kanchivia MP, crying for delimitation of constituencies. And then he says, what Sunday should know is that our economy at the moment is very bad. It can't sustain whatever they are advocating for. So let us allow the economy to move out of this mortuary. Maybe we can start advocating for that. And then obviously Gilbert Liswaniso saying that the youths in the UPND also want to eat. It's not just the youths in the UPND who want to eat, but all Zambians. So the UPND should now wake up and do the right thing. Thank you very much for that particular message. And then this one says, my press review is from Radio Chimwemwe, which featured First Citizen Party President Hari Karaba. Mr. Karaba spent most of the time talking about President Hakainde Hichilema instead of telling the nation exactly what he would do once voted into power. It seems like the opposition have no message for the Zambian people, hence always talking about President Hakainde Hichilema. And then he says the opposition should not just be saying Kuya Bebere Arebwelenapo. And this is this message is too long, but obviously I just have to leave it there. +26021261740. Looking at time, let's accommodate more calls.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Who are we talking to?
Mr. X from Chirabom.
Okay, Mr. X from Chirabombwe, kindly reduce the volume on your stereo or TV set and go ahead with your press review.
Thank you very much. My press review is coming from Sun FM front page. Basande chanda basanda pari kanchibia kuiputaora. In my opinion, basande chanda bari sebuna pano katwama kanchibia kubikwana bwaria sokula nikomia sukulia. So ngabai try kushira bombo na kwetu kuna tulira twist baputura ko yabako yabiri yabako na konkora constituency firafini mwamonaka last ni ya chiranda ba mtoto kafaya pa front page na wa nakachinda tawe Tonse is intact. In my opinion Tonse mwire ba president mau sampa kwa bako na bachabinga chishi be intact so bareba ero wa mtoto kafaya na bena na bakanati yo cybercrime yamba mpf so batwe benga tebambire cyber roy ebambire weko your boss want.
Thank you very much. Let's pick two more calls, then we call it a wrap for today. +260 21261 7140 will give you access on to today's edition of Press Review. +260 21261 7140. That's a power line. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
You are through to Press Review.
Mr. Foregi.
Yes, Famaripiro, quickly, you have a minute to give us your press review.
Quickly, Wakaramba, Malasa Pinga Mukela. If we can't touch face in Kele, I could not even down. So, press review to allow Munavakaramba to allow it directly, Kurika football. Oko twamufira bakashana baira ngiro lukula under 17 awe epashiri pakuleka po trefa so ball at least muno Zambia abako improve so at least apa batwalire na guys wonse batwalire.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's allow two more calls. +260 21261 my two last calls, then we can close today's edition. +260 21261 7140. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. You are through to Press Review. Good afternoon. Okay, let's drop that call. +260 21261 7140. Let's pick the last call and then we close today's edition. +260 21261 7140. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost you. +260 21261 7140. Quickest fingers. Let's see if we have our last caller for today's edition of Press Review. Good afternoon. Do we have a caller on the line? Okay. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost that one. Okay, join us tomorrow with another edition of Press Review. This is where we come to the end of today's edition. Hopefully you enjoyed it and it was more informative. Please join me tomorrow from 13:30 through to 14. So on behalf of the production team, my name is Lamek Zulu, also known as Four Legs, saying continue enjoying our programming on Sun FM Radio and TV. Bye-bye. We're out.
Sun Sports